Oh, well, hey there. How are you? So, this week, driving me crazy, celebrated 2 years on YouTube. I know, right? 2 years. I do feel like I accomplished quite a bit in the course of those 2 years. Up to this point, something like 218 videos. Still just a stone's throw less than 2,000 subscribers, inching towards something like 400,000 views. Most importantly, a lot of amazing people that I have met and come to know and that have been hugely influential to me in how I go about making videos. So yes, 2 years ago on June 18th, 2016, I published my first ever video to YouTube. I mounted a phone on the dashboard and I talked while I drove.
Now, the fact is that there is nothing to listen to on the radio. Stomached some of the AM talk radio for a little bit, but there's no rock station at all.
Some people cringe when they look back at their first couple videos. I guess I probably do too, but in a way, you have to look back at where you started to understand how you got where you are. So when thinking about how to mark the occasion of a 2-year anniversary, I asked around and I thought about the different ways that I could celebrate this milestone. People recommended some of the typical stuff. Q&A, a react to my first video. There's a lot of cool ways that you can share that celebration with your audience and with other YouTubers, but if you do know me and if you do know anything about my channel, I always look for ways to do things differently. There are so many different channels that I personally watch, and they all do different things. So really, when I look back and I think about how I've progressed and how I've grown over the last 2 years as a YouTube content creator, I have to look at the folks that I've chosen to surround myself with. The fact is that I learned that no YouTube creator gets there by themselves, and frankly, it's not all about me. And for that reason, today, I would like to mark the 2-year anniversary of this channel by sharing with you the channels that have been influential to me. I can say without question that each one of these individuals has made a mark on me, has left me with some piece of knowledge, has influenced my life in some positive way. Things I've learned from people, things that people have reminded me about, whether they realized it or not. So if I may, allow me to share with you the people who helped me get here. Phantom of Darkness, my very first friend on YouTube, taught me to be consistent, to follow my passions, and stay the course. Chauvinism, the great Yaron Shavit, gave me insight into the mind and the art of the performer. Dan Courier taught me the value of hard work and helping others. Pickles the Clown lifted me up from a dark place without a single word. Bubcast, Joe McKellar. Bubba Blue taught me to be utterly open and honest with who I am and what I believe. Birdsnake and Amanda Brown taught me how to celebrate the small things in life. Chris J. Asher taught me to believe in the value of my content. Christy Freya showed me that there's hope for the next generation that follows behind me. Paul Varsant, the Hat Man, he reminds me to go big, go bold, and be unafraid. Mrs. Mannix, Emma Tofi, she taught me to seek inspiration for content from everyday life. Clay from Terminally Nerdy, even though he's not really active on YouTube these days, he taught me it's okay to embrace my nerdy passions. And Gems from Larktasia, she reminded me that it's good to share those nerdy passions with everyone else. Atari the Airborne Surfer. Matthew reminds me how cool it is to be a geek. DKA Gaming and Art. Russ is always there with a supportive comment, and he reminds me to do the same thing for others. Tommy from Ninja High Life. Tommy shows me that there are genuinely good people even behind the most outrageous content. Nat Lopez reminds me that there can be a brilliant soul behind a damaged person. Colin Bloodworth, well, frankly, he helped me learn to shoot better video, be a better vlogger. Bark Nor Zed showed me that it's okay to be silly while exploring life. Zach from ZachDTV made me want to root harder for small channels that are great and that are destined to succeed. Mark Plant reminds me over and over that consistency really is key. Juan Alcazar from JC5 Productions. Juan makes me want to be a filmmaker. And Jay from the Director's Logbook, well, she taught me a few things about how to do that. While Mercy from Desdemona Productions taught me to never forget the value of old school filmmaking. Real Quick Chris taught me to use the resources that I already have around me. Indie Andy reminds me to aspire to something more and is a fantastic ambassador and spokesperson for the autism community. Stu Dog, my fellow small YouTuber community admin. Stu Dog reminds me, and frankly reminds us all, to be safe out there in the wild world of YouTube. Ryan from Beer by the Numbers. Ryan showed me how to present information like a professional. Philip Brown, the bearded math man. Again, someone who's not too active on YouTube these days. But while Philip was busy trying to teach us all math, he ended up teaching the world the value of educators. That T-Cat, he inspired one of the most ambitious videos I've ever created and continues to impress me with his animation skills. Beirut taught me to celebrate life and celebrate the contributions of others. James Cox reminds me that it's important to lift up others and celebrate the community. Hashtag I am a creator. Andrea Sharifi, the Sharifi Life, showed me that it is okay to be unabashedly fabulous. How, in fact, to own that shit. Definitely Not Katie, who reminds us that it's important to encourage and support other channels in the community. Katie reminds me to just keep going. Moral Truth reminds me to stay true to those values that I carry forward into the world. Ron Pertee reminds me not to forget where he and I both came from together in the old Wild West days of the internet. Dion0026 reminds me to celebrate the things that I love and to spread positivity to those around me. Drivers in SoCal, well, frankly, he reminds me that when I'm out filming in my car, not to be someone he catches on his ever-watchful dashcam. Paul W. showed me that even some of YouTube's oldest dogs have some pretty cool tricks. Jimmy Fungus continually reminds me to just go ahead and embrace the ridiculous. Ryan from Crimson Studios, who I lost touch with at one point, but recently found one of my videos on Reddit, reminded me that I should reach out with encouragement and feedback and try to motivate others to keep going. Anthony Galley is a gifted orator and thinker who makes me want to elevate my own game every single time I watch him. Pretty Okay McKenna and Jimbo Shreds, both channels that remind me that there are true rising YouTube stars in the making out there, that someday I'll be able to say I knew a few of them back then. And Bo Cardwell, who had a total channel rebirth and is out there inspiring his community in the heavy metal music scene, reminds me to continue looking for my own community and continue to try and inspire people. Now, there are some channels that are no longer really active on YouTube, but that I consider friends and that have stayed near and dear to my heart and were very influential on me at one point or another. Big K and Little M of Little Big Gamers, who were among the very first friends I met here on YouTube and who reminded me that it should always be about family. ROP Name, Reggie Octavian Paul, someone that reminds me not to lose sight of family, a great family man himself who I am honored to call a friend on the other side of the world in Romania. Sean Springnall, just north of me in Canada, who I must somehow be related to because his voice reminds me of my grandfather. Mark from Mandrew G Creations, who inspired me to want to make split-screen magic with my characters. Bilton TV, Liam Bilton, who made me smile every time, despite the fact that I could scarcely understand a single word he said. Adam Cooper, another one of my very first friends on YouTube. His presentation style got me so hyped for how much fun YouTube could be. Major Sven Gaming, who made me hang on every word of his crisp Queen's English storytelling about battles of old. Eggdial was the first YouTuber to truly make me laugh and taught me that I don't have to take things so seriously all the time. Steve-O Canuck, another great guy up in Canada, who made me want to be bolder and get out there in front of people in the real world. Aaron from Tomato Plants and Beer, Greg Summers, and Euphysor, Amanda, taught me that it's okay to just be yourself and not chase some phony version of yourself on YouTube. All of these people and all of these channels made some mark on me as a content creator, and so many of them that I am proud to consider friends and happy to run across on the internet and have conversations with. But we're certainly not done there. There continue to be new channels that I find almost every day that catch my eye and catch my interest and make me want to pay attention. Channels like Eleanor, Needs More Subs, Nobody Gamer, Tom Nash, Medium Charlie Kelly, D-Caw Studios, Pappy's Corner, Sam Hayden, The Laughing Lion, Farmall Fanatic, and Poet Maker. So as I mark 2 years on YouTube as a content creator, and I thank you all for helping me grow and for the successes that I have found, for the friends I have made, for everything that each one of you has given me, has taught me, has reminded me of. Thank you for being a part of my YouTube journey, and I look forward to seeing you all on the road.